The complaint of where you are now is profitability. Solving that problem specifically, which one would be the better business? When we kind of don't know what to do, or we're kind of in this like middle ground, we always do what we think we're best at. Right. You are going to revert back, if you're not growing, to build something better. But I can tell you, you can make it 100 times better, but if we don't have sales, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. It's not about what you do, it's about what you don't do. That's a distraction, man.
JC, in 2022, this agency was making $80,000 a month.
How much was it profiting at 80 grand?
I'd say probably 12 to 15,000 a month.
Plus your salary?
No, that would be, that my salary would be, that's net after salary. So it was more.
What are you profiting right now? Just curious.
Well, to be honest, we're really kind of at a break-even place.
After your salary.
Yeah, but it does include my
Yeah, okay.
It pays for everything, right? All the administrative expenses, all the personal expenses come out of what we're making right now.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, I mean, because at the end of the day, what you have today might be way better. I mean, yes, it's down a little bit in revenue, but probably if we lifted your revenue, not to $1 million, but even to 400,000, you'd be way more profitable today with your margins, right?
I would agree, and I have 8 fewer human employees today than I did at the 80,000 range.
Okay, cool. So like our real goal, how do we get back up to where we were around the 400? What about the local content company, automation and social? You said you got 9 customers. What are they paying?
So both of those AI projects, one, the local content company is $497 a month, done for you all in. And my goal is by the end of July to get that to 20, which look is $10,000 a month in recurring revenue. Plus I don't have any of the pain of, customers who are paying a huge amount of money, have family disputes.
Okay, so now my next question here is, what do you actually want to win at? Like in a dream scenario, if the goal was, JC, we want to get back up to $300,000 or $400,000 in profits, would you rather have a business that is local content company, $497 a month, very, very low expenses, high margin, and get 100 clients there, or would you rather have the fractional CMO business?
Both. The whole AI thing, the whole, waking up, getting a junk removal company from Memphis, signing up for the local content company, you don't even know them, waking up in the morning and seeing that they've paid and boom. I'd love to do more of that. I think that's where the future is. It's less stress in terms of client. I'd like to get out of the marketing agency full service business.
Right.
But I really do love doing the strategy for the fractional CMO.
Yeah.
I don't know that answered your question though.
Well, almost, right? So I'm with you, right? I do calls like this, right? Because I love the consulting, coaching, solving problems, which is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, right.
You're just on retainer and so I get there. But is the CMO more of feeling like an inner spot? What's the better business to make profit? Because the complaint of where you are now is profitability. So solving that problem specifically, which one would be the better business?
Well, the logical thing would be the fractional CMO business because it pays so much. And you get 3 of those clients in the next 3 months, 4 months. And the profitability question is resolved.
Okay, so let's go down that path just for a second. So you said 6 to 8 clients as the fractional.
Right.
Those are year-long contracts. How many of them have stayed the entire year?
Well, they've all stayed the entire term. Some of them are 18 months, by the way. But they've all stayed the entire term. But that term does end. And eventually what happens is things start working and they go, we just don't need to pay the extra 5,000 or 6,000 you're charging us for the fractional, the strategy part, because we've all done it.
I like this idea. So what the business model you're trying to build, correct me if I'm wrong, is the local content co is kind of scalable. You got 9 clients. How much churn have you had since you launched it?
Well, again, it's brand new, man. It's only 6 to 7 weeks. I've had no churn.
Okay, well, that's a great start. So, and they've had the opportunity to churn, right? So I would watch.
Yes, exactly. I mean, 1 month essentially. Yeah,
that's all right.
I've got.
I mean, most agencies have about 30% of their churn in the first 90 days. Once you get past that, you're golden. So, okay. So the business model here is like the real like heartbeat is the 497, right? Like you can grow that. We can scale that to 20, 30, 40 clients in the next 90 days. And then on the back end, you have very selective CMO clients, like maybe never more than 1, like 2 at a time.
Right.
Right. And you're very selective. In fact, the 497 is like a kind of a waiting line to get into the other, right?
Yeah, and to be clear, the 497, that's a pricing thing that Jonathan and I went over, and I recall hearing you talk about the sub 500 price. But to be clear, I don't view the 497 as the final number. I view it as start, let them gain trust, and then go back to them and offer to do SEO, AEO, upsell them to the get cited AEO product. So I see that as a stepping step, to get them to maybe, instead of 497 a month, 1,500 a month. That's again pretty much all AI generated and automated.
I don't know if you know this, but like, have you ever looked at investing in companies and like acquisitions and things like this? Why do investment companies start to downgrade companies that have 30, 40, 50%? Because you and I were, the more margin, the better, right? Why do you think they downgrade those numbers?
Well, because I assume that the scale, if you will, is over, that they can't sustain that sort of thing.
Sort of, but the bigger reason is that we live in a very capitalistic market. So if you're charging 50% or 100% more than it costs you to run and you have no patents, what's it going to take for another company to come in and undercut you like crazy?
Yeah, nothing. Somebody can come in and go, I'll do the same thing for $397.
Or even free, right? Because they have the big, the other package, right? And so I just want to be always, when I've got these like SaaS offers, these like longer term, until I have a position in the market, like at the end of the day, I will pay for Slack over someone else just because their reputation, their history, all the other stuff, right? But like, until you build that rep, I would just focus on how do you get as much value in that 497 as humanly possible. This 9 customers, man, I would go all in on that specific thing. I would make every bit of my marketing focused on that 497. And then my individual conversations, when you have a call like this, Mark, you and one other individual, then you're like, hey man, listen, I don't really advertise this. I don't really talk about it much, but I do take a couple of clients and this is what we do, right? And then I'm pitching that. But I would actually take all of my marketing, because if you had 100 clients 6 months from now in this 497 plan, not only are you making more money than you've ever made before, or, that 80,000 mark, the $1 million in revenue mark, not only are you doing that, you have a selective group of folks.
Yeah, that's true.
You give away your consulting, Mark.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at, by the way, right? Like I just want to give it away, right? I don't have anything to sell any. I mean, like, yeah, we run some events. I love for folks to come to those events, but like ultimately, I don't have something that I pitch or sell. It just allows me to serve who I want to, when I want, however long. Now, there are several folks that I jump in. I'm like, you know what? I really like what you're doing. I don't offer this much. Here you go. And how much would it cost you to serve another 100 people, which would be, what is that, 50,000 in revenue?
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. I haven't run those numbers yet, but I mean, comparatively to the last time I made 50,000 a month or so, it's a fraction.
It's a fraction, right? You would definitely be above the 15,000 in profits.
Right.
So the way I would look at this, again, all my energy, my day-to-day, when I look at my calendar, because I don't know, do you use Google Calendar?
I don't. I'm still an Outlook guy. I work inside Google.
Okay. If you use Outlook, that's fine. But like, I tell every bit of my day is all like, I have a very specific, here's what I want to do, right? And we're able to sell millions of dollars in sales off of a very small team, because we have very specific and very few things we do over and over and over and over and over again. And so what I would do is, or let me ask you this before I get going on that. What is your current sales process? How are you going to go from 9 to 20? What are you currently doing?
Well, I think, first of all, I've been building out these 2 AI products. So the first step is that, I've got somebody overseas in South Africa who is certified Go High level, and they are working on my Go High level to optimize what I have. But we're also setting up, a landing page and sending that out through cold email. We are starting a newsletter for it. We're going to start publishing 2 to 3 times a day on socials, because I really haven't, outside of the networking group. How do I get to 20 really quick, JC? More networking group, okay? Because that's easy. How do I get to 100? Not so much.
Okay. All right. Here's a couple of thoughts for you, right? One of the things I've learned is that in the entrepreneur space, when we kind of don't know what to do, or we're kind of in this like middle ground, we always do what we think we're best at. So if you're a builder, because you're all into AI, right? You are going to revert back, if you're not growing, to build something better.
That's fair.
Right? Like, how do I make the product better? In operations people, what do they do? Man, how do I build a better system for sales? Salespeople, guess what they do? Like, screw the product. Let me just go sell more, right? Like, we just naturally go back to whatever our gift is, right? And it's something that we struggle with entrepreneurs. So the first thing that I would do is I would like go into my calendar right now and I would create 5 buckets. So what is and how much time are you spending building, right? Because you want to do that. You want to continue to make it better. But I can tell you can make it 100 times better. But if we don't have sales, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot.
I agree
right?
with that.
So how much time, right? And I think building, honestly, I would give myself like 20% of my day. If you're working 10, 12, whatever, but 20% of my week. Now, then there's time marketing, and we'll talk about what to do there, right? I would make this probably another 20%. Then we have time selling, all right? Like actually like hopping on calls, like with people like me, so on and so forth. And we're gonna talk about that in a second. And then you have leading, and then you have operations. Those 5 things. And like my ability to set my calendar and say, I will spend 7 hours this week selling is incredibly impactful on whether you actually do it or not, right? Like, do I put it in my calendar and plan for it? And then am I honest with myself about doing it? All right, now let's talk about marketing for a second. How many friends right now do you have on Facebook?
5,000.
And most of those are business folks. They're not like, you don't have 5,000 friends, right?
No, I mean, they're, I'm using my profile. So a lot of business type folks follow my profile because of that.
Okay. Here's what we're going to do. All right. Man, if you do this, I promise you it'll work. All right. So number 1, I'm going to increase how much time I post. You already said that. I post 6 times a day, Mark. All I do is in the morning, 30 minutes, I post them all. Okay. That's number 1. You just have to. And I would encourage you that 80% of those should be about you, your family, your kids, like
really
100% without a doubt, because everything is about the person. And really the difference is me wanting to give Mark a shot. It's not even that you're going to be better. It's like, yeah, it's Mark. He's my buddy. Why wouldn't I try his product? And we build that relationship, not through business, but through people. Here's what we're going to do. All right. I have what's called a hot list strategy, and I use this all the time in business. Okay, Mark, you're going to go into a Google Sheet or Excel, whichever one you use. All right. And at the top, you're going to have just a couple of items. We're going to make this as simple as possible. All right. Number 1, you're going to have the name. You're going to have date added. All right. You're going to have stage. And in that, I want you to just create different stages: new lead, talk to, interested, whatever, right? Stage, okay? Then here's the key. Here's one key. Next task, all right? Now I want you to put that as a date, right? That's going to be tomorrow, next week, next month, everything, right? Next task. And then after that, you're going to have notes, all right? And I got a full video on this I could send you as well, all right? But then you're going to have notes. And what you're going to do here, Mark, I mean, this is Everything in sales is about relationships. It's actually not even about sales. If I have a relationship with you and I just launched a new book, you're going to buy it because we have a relationship and we're talking and we care about each other and we, all this type of stuff. And so I want to hone into the relational stuff. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Every single day going forward, and I've done this with so many folks, Mark, I promise you it'll work. If every single day, all I want you to do is I want you to add 5 people to this hot list. 5. That's it. 5 entrepreneurs that might buy. They could be someone that's actually talked. They could be something that interacted with a post. They could be someone, it could be anything but 5 people to the list. All right. Could be an actual lead.
Okay.
When you add them to the list, here's the key is I just want you to, when are you going to talk to them again? Could be a phone call, could be a text, it could be a message. When are you going to talk to them again? And then I want you to put notes of what happened. Now, what the language I want you to use right now, because you're launching a new product, is the research strategy. There is no reason why you can't message 5 people every day. Hey, JC, dude, I'm building this new product. You're friends with Jonathan Mass. He's been helping me out with it as well. Dude, I'm just looking for 20 entrepreneurs that'll just jump on a call. I just want to show it to you. No pitch. I promise. No pitch. In fact, I won't even allow you to buy it right then. All right. Would you do it? And then you jump on a call, you show them to them, and you get their opinion, you get their ideas. And then you ask the question, Mark, here in a couple weeks, as I perfect this and I take in what you just said, would you be interested in trying it out? Would you be interested in testing? Would you be interested in whatever the case may be? Okay. Now here's the key. Every single one of these people you talk to, Mark, is you have a next call. Sales don't happen because we don't follow up and we're a forgetful world. But I promise you, if you just follow up with them, right? Like, okay, and I don't care. You don't delete anyone off your list unless they say, never talk to me again. Mark, on my hot list, I've got people that I reach out to every 6 months, maybe a year later, maybe 3 months. There's never, Mark, I'm never in a conversation where I'm like, Mark, I know this isn't a good fit right now, but can I follow up in 6 months? No, don't call. Okay, cool. Red. But if not, I'm going to put it in 6 months. Mark, if 6 months from now, you've got 400 or 500 people in that hot list, and all you're doing is just trying to talk to them every month. Like, hey, what are you doing? Man, I saw that post. Da, 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 da. There's no way of that 600, 10% do not sign up with you. So we're going to post every day, 6 times. I'm going to add one more thing because it's easy. I want you to engage with 10 different posts every day. Just go comment on your friend's post. Make sure they know you're alive. And then number 3, I want you to add 5 people to the list. Put the next time you talk to them and make sure you follow up. And keep it simple. It's not about what you do. It's about what you don't do. That's a distraction, man.